Hello friends, welcome to my Cozy Haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you've clicked my video today. I hope you're going to enjoy just me chatting about the books that I've read this week, what I'm reading this weekend, and just a general chit chat video. So I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. Ours was very quiet. On Christmas Day, our neighbours came in for like mulled drink. It was non-alcoholic, just nibbles, scones, things like that, and they were here for about an hour and a half, and it was lovely. It was just so nice. And then once we'd had lunch later on, we just had a wee snooze, if I'm honest. And then we opened stockings, and then we had Christmas dinner. We had a Christmas dinner at tea time, like 5 o'clock, where we normally do. And then it went on to sprints with Tiffany and Co. For a wee bit, and then just read, and it was lovely. And then yesterday, just a very slow start to the day, just pluttered about, if I'm honest. And then in the afternoon we decided we'd open our presents, and we did, and it was just, it was just really nice. And then last night it was just sitting reading. We had an Andre Rieu recorded concert on the TV, and it was just lovely. It was just so nice, very gentle, very quiet, and we enjoyed it, and that's the important thing. Everybody's Christmas is different, but we were just really glad that that we're together, and we just enjoyed having each other and opening presents and just spending quality time, which was really good. Not that we don't spend quality time with each other during the rest of the wee year, but it's more intensified at this time of the year, I think. So yeah, so that's kind of what we were doing. So shall we go on to the books? So the first book I finished this week was Snow Kissed by Rayanne Thane. This is book 3 in her Shelter Springs series. I absolutely adored this book. So we meet Holly, and Christmas is Holly's favourite time of year, and she is just full on, she loves Christmas. But this year is going to be slightly different in that her ex-sister-in-law is getting married, and she wants her daughter Lydia, Holly's daughter Lydia, as part of the wedding party. Lydia has got Down syndrome. She's a gorgeous 5-year-old who has spirit, tenacity, and is just a delightful little girl. And Holly's like, yeah, sure, fine, no problem. But she ends up also having to do the flowers for the ceremony, and her ex-husband is coming into town, obviously for the wedding, with his new wife and their son. And her ex-husband doesn't have a lot of time, or doesn't spend a lot of time with Lydia, because he doesn't understand what it is to have a Down syndrome child. Also, Holly runs her own flower shop, and one of her employees has taken the month of December off to go into rehab, and her name is Kim, and Kim's daughter Audrey helps look after Lydia. She's a teenager, but she gets paid to babysit. But Kim's brother Ryan comes into town, and it also means that with Ryan coming into town, Ryan has to deal with family issues as well with his father. But there's a spark between him and Holly, and it's like, it's the story of will they, won't they? Will he resolve things with his family? How will things go with the wedding? It was beautifully written. I loved seeing the Christmas through Lydia's eyes. It was her wonder, her joy, her excitement at just seeing everything. The Christmas lights, the snow. It was just a delightful read, and a very much a really good book number 3 in this series. I would highly recommend not only the book but the series. Then for Christmas Eve, I was given Christmas at the Ranch by Julia Mackay. Now, Julia Mackay has many nom de plumes. She is Marissa Stapley. That is her main pen name. But she is also Maggie Knox. I've read a couple of other books by her, and absolutely loved them. This one was no different. This was such a beautiful, easy. It was an easy read, guys. But it drew me in. It really did. Same as Snow Kissed, this drew me in. So we meet Emery, and Emery, her life is going exactly as she hoped it would go. But there's somebody missing in her life. And that person is Tate. They met 10 years ago when they were teenagers, and things did not end well, shall we say. But just before Christmas, something happens within Emery's family that she basically escapes Toronto and heads to Evergreen. She gets caught there's a snowstorm, she gets caught there, but there are certain people in the town that don't want her there for family reasons. And she ends up being taken in by Tate's dad, Charlie. He says, okay, Tate's not here. Come and stay in his house at the ranch. And she does, but Tate arrives back home because Charlie told him that she was there. And she basically can't face Tate and ends up in the morning trying to flee, but something happens. And she ends up having to stay in Evergreen, but is helped out by somebody else. And she in turn helps Bruce. And it's basically the story of Emery and Tate not letting go of the past, but coming to terms with how things ended. And could it possibly be that this Christmas they're going to get the ending they deserve? Seriously, guys, this is beautifully written, because you get Emery's diary entries from 10 years ago. So you get to know what happened in the time frame that she was, in Evergreen 10 years ago. And then you also get her there now and what's happening. I absolutely adored this. It was a great read, and I will definitely be picking up more books by this author because, they were just so fun. I will say spice level 1 chili pepper. There's one open door bedroom scene, that was it. But it was lovely. I then finished A South Hill Christmas Keepsake by Nancy Nagle. This was another deal. I have 3 really delightful reads this week. It's been so good. So we meet Hannah Lee, and Hannah Lee comes back to South Hill because things have happened in her life, and that she needs to be with her Aunt Winnie. But Aunt Winnie isn't going to let Hannah Lee just sit around. No. Hannah Lee is going to help with the Christmas festivities in South Hill. And the way Aunt Winnie orchestrates things in some ways, Hannah Lee always ends up working with Nate. They had a thing when they were younger. And it didn't finish well. It just didn't get an ending, if we shall so we say. And one day, while they're hanging lights on the dogwood tree, they discover this locket. And there's always been a mystery story surrounding the dogwood tree and lost love, etc. And they decide they're going to try and track down the person that the locket belongs to, so that they can give it to them. So there's that mystery going on in this. It's beautifully written. Then there's also the grumpy mayor, who happens to be Nate's uncle. And there's a mystery, a romance mystery around about him as well. And another lady who's come back to town. So we have that going on. We have Hannah Lee trying to decide, what does she want in life? Where does she want to be? What is it she's really, really looking for? And could it possibly be that she's found it in South Hill? this was beautifully written, wonderful characters. You know, Aunt Winnie was great, Birdie was a laugh, and I just really loved the way that this was put together. Nancy Nagel has a way with writing, especially Christmas books, that I just adore. And I'm just really, really glad that I got this one and picked it up this year because it was so worth it. And the book that I'm reading now is The Gingerbread Bakery by Laurie Gilmore. I would like to get this one read before the end of the year. It means that I'm up to date with this series, which would be good. I'm enjoying it. I'm only, 2-3 chapters in, but I'm enjoying being back with the character. I'm going to be interested to see where this goes, because this is Anna and Mac's story. And we're getting, what I really like is we're getting sort of the past them as teenagers, and we're getting them as now, which I really like. So you're getting their story filled in, which I'm really, really enjoying. So yeah, so thoroughly enjoying this one. So yeah, that's the books that I've been reading this week. I did get books for my Christmas, and I got a lot of books for my Christmas. Would you like to see them? If so, let me. Would you like me to do a Christmas book haul? Let me know. The reason I'm hesitant is I've been really blessed this year. I've been spoiled by friends and family. I really have. And I don't want it to come across as bragging. Like, oh, look what I got. That's not what I want. I would just want to share the joy of the books that I got for Christmas. But I don't want, you know, it wouldn't sit well with me if it were going, girl, she's just showing off what she got. I don't want that. So that's why I'm asking, if you'd like to see the books that I received for Christmas, I'm more than happy to do a haul. Please let me know down in the comments whether that's something you'd like to see or not. But as I say, yeah, I was blessed and spoiled this year in many, many ways. So, and I thank everyone that gave me presents from the bottom of my heart. It just touched me so much. What are we doing this weekend? Well, we've got rugby today. We've got Edinburgh v Glasgow in an hour and a bit, so watch that. And there are two other rugby matches on tonight as well. And then we'll just chill. It's not that we have a very hectic lifestyle, we don't. We're just going to relax, we'll read and probably listen to music. Maybe I've got loads of Christmas movies. I'll maybe get round to watching one of those. But yeah, that's kind of the way it's going to be. What are we doing for New Year? Nothing. We're not big New Year people. We don't stay up. I think I did it a couple of times and I was like, no, I just want to go to bed. So I'm very happy just going to bed and just keeping to my normal routine. So that's kind of our plans for the rest of the week. It's just not a lot. Just living our day-to-day normal, which is nice. But that's it for this video, friends. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Have you read any of the books that I've mentioned? What did you think of them? I'd love to know. Did you get books for your Christmas? I would love to know if you did. And if you want to tell me what they are, that's absolutely fantastic. What did you have a lovely Christmas? What did you do? Come chat with me down in the comments. Do you have New Year's plans? Come chat in the comments. On the way there, if you haven't already and you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, just tells you when I'm bringing out new videos. But until my next video, friends, stay safe, happy reading, and if I don't see you beforehand, Happy New Year, friends. May 2026 bring you health, wealth and happiness. Bye!